We got the good, we got the bad, and we got the ugly, and this time it's the US edition, because the UK one went down reasonably well. So I'll kick us off this time then. Here's my good one from the US. It's Costco. Everyone knows what Costco is. It's a retailer, and it sells things for really, really cheap. But the reason I've set this up here as my good one, it's not a particularly cheap stock for what it's worth, is that I've been learning about this one a little bit, and I've been trying to appreciate what really there is that's good about this business. And I think there's quite a lot that's really good about this business. It's worth noting, I think, first of all, that this business is anti-fragile in the proper anti-fragile sense. So it's not a kind of super robust thing. Anti-fragile things in the kind of proper, as described by Nassim Taleb, who I think coined the term. Enough about coins anyway. But the idea of anti-fragile stuff is that it gets stronger when it's under pressure, basically. And it does really well when things around are chaotic. So robust things hold up when things are chaotic. Anti-fragile things get stronger in that situation. And Costco might be an example of that. The idea being that in kind of economic chaos, what do people do? They run and find the cheapest food they possibly can, and that's usually in a Costco. And they find a lot of it. Yep, so they'll buy 2 things in Costco and fill up their entire house because the things come in enormous sizes.
Yeah, so, a 4-kilo can of beans, please.
That's it, yep, just the one, can't carry anymore. But that will be 25 pence, or whatever we sell things for in Costco in this country. But they're a retailer, and they're a discount retailer, and with those 2 things borne in mind, you would expect the margins to be pretty terrible, wouldn't you, Steve?
Are they terrible?
They are terrible, Steve, yes. Operating margins are around 3.5%. And where ordinarily we look at retailers like Dunelm that we were looking at before and thinking, gosh, that's good, they can charge more for their products. Costco aggressively tries to charge less and less and less for its products. It wants to sell things as close to cost as it possibly can. And Steve knows why. Why, Steve?
And that's because they don't really want to make money off the things in the shop. They're more interested in the Costco membership.
See, we don't even rehearse this stuff, but Steve knows that basically the way this company plans on making money is they have a model that says you're going to give them money for absolutely nothing. What you're going to pay them for is so that you can go into their shop and then pay them for some more stuff, effectively. It's like when my wife tells me that she's won something. And I say, what have you won? And it's an eBay auction. So what you've won is the opportunity to go and pay more than anyone else wanted to pay for something else. Congratulations, we are the winners. But in Costco, you don't pay more than anyone else would pay. You buy things for basically less than anyone else would do it. And such is the strength of that Costco reputation that people will hand over their damn money for nothing other than the chance to go and buy things in a Costco. To buy that enormous tin of beans that no human has ever needed. But this is really kind of interesting. And here's the stock I would compare this to, I think. I compare this to Amazon in an interesting way. And Steve and I go different ways on Amazon's retail arm here. He's of the view that he would happily spin that retail arm out and give it to, well, me, I guess. But the point of Costco, and this is the point Charlie Munger makes, is that such is their reputation for charging the lowest prices for anything. And their consumers know that they will charge them as little as they possibly can. And it's barely worth shopping around, to be honest, to try and find better value anywhere, because you won't. Amazon doesn't have a reputation for that by any means. But what I think Amazon does have, and the reason it's trying to operate on a kind of similar model, is I think, in my head, I don't associate Amazon with being super cheap. I associate it with not being crazy expensive or paying a massive premium. But I do associate Amazon with getting stuff to you fast. I think if anyone can get this thing to me quicker than anybody else, it's going to be Amazon. So if I'm going to order something online and I need it or even want it in a hurry, Prime membership will get it to me oftentimes later that damn day, which I think is fairly smart. And I'm not convinced anyone else is going to get it to me at anything like that rate. So in the same way that I will therefore then go and give Amazon Prime money for absolutely nothing other than the chance to buy stuff off them and watch some telly and stuff, Costco will take my money for nothing other than the ability to go and buy more stuff off them. Stock trades at a 35 price-earnings ratio, so it's not cheap. It is net cash positive, though, from what I can see of it, and it's growing at around 10%, which is kind of not bad for a kind of retail outfit. It's not got massive operational leverage, but you get the general idea for how this works. I don't think it's quite there at the moment to buy, but I'm looking at it.
It's interesting stock. I was just having a look at the membership fees at the moment. They look like they're they've only raised it a few times. So since 1983, the original membership for Costco was only $25 in the US, and just over that period of time, so we've been 34 years. It's only actually at $60 now, so that's about $5 every 5 years. And we're right on that 5-year mark, Steve. So you could be about to see the Costco membership potentially go up to $65. And apparently, when this happens, just some interesting data here, when they do lump up the price, they still get a 91% renewal rate. So yeah, you may have a sort of flattish year if that happens again with a 5% rise and 91% annual renewal rate. But from that point onwards, you should see some nice steady growth return to Costco. It's a very interesting business model, I think.
Yep, and they get away with hiking prices, which tells you that in inflation, they are a company that has pricing power. That is exactly what pricing power looks like. We are going to charge you an extra $5 for absolutely nothing other than the chance to go and buy some stuff, and you're going to take it because you think we're worth it for some reason or another. So this to me screams great business. Great price? Oh, not quite yet, but I don't have anything in the defensive sector at the moment, and I would love to pick this up and hang on to it at a good price.
Yeah, it's one of those stocks that's perennially on my watch list and never ever seems to get down to a price that I'd be willing to pay for it. One of the things that the dividend enthusiasts will enjoy is yes, this pays a steady dividend, but every so often it pays you a whacking special dividend as well when it wants to get rid of a little bit of surplus cash. It doesn't like to hold too much cash on its balance sheet for whatever reason. So yeah, every so often, it's usually 2 to 3 years, it usually drops all of that cash out in a decent whack. So there's plenty to like about Costco. I think it's a really, really interesting stock.